Hey, what's up, Skyball? Come here with Imagination Creation Films, and today, well, we are talking about these. Well, not specifically these. These. Well, I guess you can't see those either. This is the new Aputure 60X and the new 60D, and let me tell you, these things are huge in a very small way. Well, let's dive into the 60X and the 60D review, but before I take them down, I want to show you what they can do. And I've been using them here for almost 2 months now, and you've seen them, but you haven't seen them. They have been really used quite a bit. Now, I want to dive into the app here, and I just want to turn off, because the way this is lit right now, and I have the 60X behind me, and I have the 60D over here, and then we have right over here the 300D Mark II. Now, this one behind me, the 60X, is set to 5600 Kelvin, and it is at 51%. And it has a very wide and narrow softbox overhead. The 60D right here is at 100%, but it has a large softbox and a grid up there. And let's just turn off the 300D and see what we see. So this right here is at 100% with a grid, and it's approximately 6 feet from me. And it does a fairly good job. In fact, it's really impressive. Putting the grid on there takes it down a notch. Putting the softbox on there takes it down a notch, and it's still punching through. The light back here being the 60X, it's at 5600 Kelvin, but let's just turn off the 60D. So you can see what it's doing back there at 51%. And now at 100%. Now this is actually very impressive. It's so bright that I have to flag off my lens because it's flaring like crazy. And it produces a severe shadow on here, which I have to then cut back. And we can turn on the 60D right here. I mean, this is not horrible. With this is my fill. It's not even my key. If I brought it in and put it over here on where the 300D is, it would completely fill this. This is a 6x6 over here. It would completely fill it and provide a nice fill. These are very powerful lights. Let's bring up the 300D to round it back out. And now we are back to where we were. Now, let's take these lights down and dig into them. But just understand it's not going to be lit as well. So I've swapped all the lights around, got the 60X and the 60D down so we can talk about them and show them. And I put the Nova over here just for a little bit of fill. I don't have a backlight right now, but that's no big deal. So let's talk about these. This is the 60D and this is the 60X. The 60 denotes how many watts the COB LED, chip on board LED, has. So it's a 60 watt here and 60 watt here, but the 60X is bicolor, which means half of them are at tungsten color and the other half are at daylight. So you can mix those. But obviously, because they're only half as many on each color, then you're only going to get about half as bright. And we'll go into those photometrics here in just a moment. So these are built exceedingly well, like all of their Lightstorm models. They're more pro, they are metal, they're built really rugged, they have really sturdy yokes. They come with a lot of features and accessories, and let's kind of go through those right now. So the yoke here is adjustable. Now it is not an infinitely adjustable, it is notched, so you can put it in that position, and then you can loosen it and put it in that position, and that position. I'm not a huge fan of that, but that's what they've decided to do to I guess, lock it off. My guess is when you start hanging on large soft boxes on there, they wanted the extra grip since they're only locking in on one side, and it's not quite the surface area of the larger models. So that makes a little bit of sense, but you know. The power is simply a twist and pull, and you plug it right back in. It's really, really easy. The power runs over to a little power adapter right here, and this is on a V-mount standard, so you can push it and come right back. So why a V-mount, you ask? Well, so you could just pop a V-mount battery right on there. This is not a V-mount battery, by the way. And then use the included D-tap cable that goes right to the 60D, right into your battery, and then you can power it directly from a V-mount battery. Now, you can't use high voltage V-mount batteries. You have to use standard 14.8, 14.4 volt V-mount batteries. But it works really well, and it works quite a while too. The other option that they give you, which is quite cool, let's just disconnect this. Notice just a simple little twist. Push the button, eject the power adapter, and we have this. Well, what is this? Well, this is a V-mount. No, these are the Sony NPF style batteries. These are cheap. Everybody has these. Everything under the sun uses these. They're such a standard, and they're like 20 bucks a piece on Amazon. 2 of them will power the Lightstorm 60D or the 60X. 1 of them will power it at half brightness. But look, clips right on, plugs right in, and we're powered up. Now, if you notice up here, there's a little dot right here. That little dot indicates that it is actually talking via smart communication to this battery pack, and you can only use the Aputure battery pack. So on here is 2 batteries. There's a red button and a black button. The red button denotes the primary battery. The black one is the secondary. Why is that important? Well, you can remove the second battery and you can run at 50% power using just 1 battery as long as it's plugged into the red. And it needs to understand this through the communication cable, because you can only pull a maximum of like 30 to 40 watts out of these batteries. And this is a 60 watt COB. So they have to use that intelligence in there. So don't hot swap them, just turn it off. I mean, it takes a second. You can hot strike these, no big deal. I've seen it do a little bit of strange things. I don't know if it's intentional or not when you hot swap them. So just don't do it. Just turn it off. So you plug them in and you get full power, take it off, and you get half power. But these are common everyday batteries. Everyone's got a few of them. So it's a great portable way to power a 60D or a 60X. All self-contained, or you can use the V-mount with a V-mount battery. That's pretty fast. So for accessories, it does come with a few included items. On the front here is a S-Bowens mount. It slides on. This is an adapter. This is smaller than the standard Bowens mount, so they include this little adapter with a pull pin here. To mount it, just slide it in, then take the top, flip it over, and lock it in place. What this also has, flip that up, pull this out, is barn doors. Small, tiny little barn doors, specifically designed for the 60D and the 60X. And these are adjustable. You can pull them in and out as needed. So you can block off the right amount of light that you need. And they go on exactly the same way. Lock it in place. And you have a rotatable barn doors as well. Pretty simple design, pretty easy. So you get the V-mount to NPF style battery adapter. Batteries are not included. You get the P-tap. You get the S-Bowens adapter. You get the barn doors. You get the light. You get the power adapter. You get the cases. The cases are those standard lovable, hard and soft Aputure light bags. So let's talk about how you can run these lights. Now on the back here, we have an onboard OLED display that gives you first your curve that you have for your dimming curve. And then also up here at the top, it's showing you whether or not you're connected with Bluetooth, however you're controlling it. It also has a power level indicator. So if you're running on batteries, it'll tell you how much time you have left remaining on that. We're plugged into shore power, so we are greater than 2 hours. We also show color temperature, and we show the intensity right there. Color temperature on the 60D obviously doesn't apply, but it's there. And then if you press in on the menu button, you can go through color temperature, which you can't adjust on the 60D. There's FX modes. You have 8 on the 60D, and you have 9 FX options on the 60X. The 60X gives you fire, which is obviously more tungsten-based anyway. You would just select it, and then you can choose whichever one you want. We'll go back. Then you also have your dimming curve, which you can select from the 4 that they always provide. And you can have Bluetooth reset. the studio mode. Studio mode is when you want to have your lights in a studio settings where when you plug in the power, it instantly turns on at its last settings. It's really nice when you just want to flip on a single switch and everything comes on. I personally turn mine off because I like to run it on the app. But you can select it there, and then also it'll give you your serial number, your firmware version. You can also change the language there as well, and then exit. The intensity you could just control on this side right here, and yeah, it's pretty easy. Also on the back down here is your spot to flood. So we turn that up. Right now we're on flood, and you can turn it, and it will go spot. Turn that up so you can see it, and it goes to a fairly tight spot. Go all the way back out to a flood. And it's a fairly nice wide beam there. The 60X is the same. And on the 60X here, you can adjust your color temperature from all the way up to 6500, all the way down to 2700, and then any combination in between. Now, let's talk about photometrics. And photometrics is really important because that's really where these two lights just really pack a punch. And I want to share these details with you. First, let's talk about the color rendering index and the color accuracy of these. So on the 60X here, I measured it at 2700 with my color meter, and it came out to 2631 Kelvin. So it's not that far off, about 69 degrees Kelvin off. The CRI was measured as 95 and the TLCI is 96. Now the 60X at 5600 Kelvin indicated actually measured 5313 Kelvin, which is a little warmer than 5600, but if you know that, you can just adjust accordingly. Now the CRI was 98 and the TLCI was 98 at 5600. So it's a much cleaner light at 5600, but at 2700 it's no slouch because 95 CRI is pretty impressive, by the way. So the 60D at 5600 was measured at 5498, and the CRI was 97 and the TLCI was 98. So pretty impressive. Now let's talk about how bright. Let's first start with the 60D. And I measured these at 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meters, and 5 meters on both spot and flood. And I'll just give you some highlights here, and then I'll put up the rest of them on the screen. So it's interesting how these chips are designed to work with the Fresnel that's built in for spot to flood. And you can see where in overall brightness, the 60X is a little less than half as bright as the 60D. That's pretty much following what Aputure has done with all their other lights. But it's not always half as bright. In some cases, it's just as bright. And I don't know. That's an interesting one to me. I mean, I'll take it because, well, I mean, it's always better to have the extra brightness. I mean, the lights are really affordable for the quality that you're getting and the compactness that you're getting. These cases are really small. They're really nice. I do enjoy the Aputure cases a lot. They pack up nicely. They are very adjustable. I mean, these are really cool lights. So let's talk about pros and cons for a moment here. So pros, these things are really small. They're smaller than a 120D Mark II. They have a lot of features packed into it. They also have the nice display. They include all of these accessories, the barn door, the adapter, the P-tap cable, the NPF style V-mount adapter as well. It's really well thought out. It's a lot in a small little package. Ruggedness, this thing is really well built. And then obviously the other major pro is it's got a built-in Fresnel lens. It has a spot to flood in there. That really comes in handy when you don't have to carry around other accessories. Everything fits in here and you get a spot and you get a wide all in one little package for a very affordable price. Now let's talk about cons for a moment because, well, in my opinion, there are a couple. First, I don't like this wire. I don't like this wire at all. I think it is, well, I think it's probably the single least favorite thing on this light. I understand why they're doing it. They're doing it so they can have a short lead here and then all of these can have their own pigtails. I just don't like it. I would much rather have a plug right here that You plug straight in. I like that cleanness on a light. I know it's going to pack away nicely, and this isn't going to snag and get ripped off. That's a con in my book. It's not for everyone. Another con is, although this power adapter is really small and compact, it is a power adapter, and it'd be nice if you could just plug straight into the light. Now, they can't make it tiny and put this in. I get it. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay. The other con is the not infinitely adjustable. You have lockable positions in this light. Like I say, I understand. I'm pretty sure they're doing that because when you put weight on it, they can't get enough tension on it. But I'm just not a huge fan of that. I like my infinitely adjustable. Other than that, I mean, everything else about it is pretty cool. You get locking power connections. Just pull them right out. They have a little lock here. But if you forget this one, it's a standard PC power cord, so no big whoop. The connector, I mean, if you're going to have this pigtail, this connector is pretty nice. It just clicks right in. I mean, these are really nice lights, and I instantly found uses for them. And we're going to be doing an entire series. I've been kind of waiting on this. I've been teasing it for a bit. We're going to be doing an entire series on lighting and different lighting styles using all of these different lights that Aputure has made to show you what certain lights can do and can't do in the same scenario with the same brightness levels or the same ambient levels. So we can actually see where lights come into play. These things are, they're pretty amazing. I actually like the 60X quite a bit. I think with its output, it is exceptionally bright. The 60D, in my mind, for small little studio use, I mean, it's easily your key. It is very, very bright. So what do you think of the new 60D or the 60X? Are they everything you'd hope they would be? Let me know in the comments down below what you think of them. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, you can put those down below as well. I try to read and respond to each and every one, even if it's just to say thanks. Remember to give me a thumbs up if you liked it. If you didn't, thumbs down, we can still be friends. And just remember to subscribe. Subscribing to this channel is everything because it's going to help the channel grow. And it also helps the algorithm, and probably saying the word algorithm probably hurt the algorithm. Oh, I said it twice. Does that cancel it? I don't know. I'm not really sure. And then also, if you want to support me, I do now have memberships. So you can be a part of the channel. There's a lot of extra features in the membership. There's a lot of extra features in the membership section. Again, I don't hide my tutorials behind memberships. It's just a bunch of extras and a great way for you to support the channel. Also, you can there's a tip jar down there. You can also use the affiliate links from Amazon down below. You can use PayPal. You can join me on Patreon. Any way you want to support the channel, I appreciate it. And as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions.